What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. Thanks for pressing play. Today, we're going to be talking about the C8 Corvette ZR1 and the Z06. There's a couple different possible engine issues that GM has supposedly fixed. And is Chevy making a giant mistake with the ZR1 upcoming? We're going to talk all about it. Let's jump right into it. All right, guys, so just like we said there in the beginning, there's a bunch of C8, Z06, and ZR1 news to cover today. The biggest one is going to be GM and whether or not they're making a giant mistake with the new C8 Corvette ZR1. Now, I'm sure you guys are all wondering, what kind of mistake could they possibly be making, Justin? Well, as of yesterday, GM Authority put out an article talking about the fact that Chevy Corvette ZR1, the LT7 engine, is to feature active fuel management. Now, this is a problem, in my opinion, because of all of the issues that the active fuel management has had in the past. Now, if you guys are familiar with the C7 Corvette, specifically the Z06, it had active fuel management as well with the cylinder deactivation and all that. And with the automatic cars, there was no way to disable it. It was on and available in every single mode, no matter how you were driving. That ended up being a problem and caused a lot of engine issues and reliability concerns. So people started buying a device called Range that you could plug into the OBD2 port that would disable the active fuel management and get rid of cylinder deactivation and all of that stuff that goes along with it. Like I said, that was a problem with the C7 Corvette Z06. Fast forward to the C8 Corvette Stingray, I haven't heard of as many issues, but there is still a reliability concern with the extra parts involved with active fuel management or cylinder deactivation. Most people would prefer that these things are not on their cars, especially not on their high-end performance cars. Now, rewind again to the C7 Corvette ZR1, and all of that stuff was stripped out. So the ZR1 did not have active fuel management, did not have cylinder deactivation, did not have any of that stuff. It didn't even have an eco mode like the Z06 did. GM wanted to go fully balls to the wall performance, and they didn't want to have any kind of restriction or reliability concern with that engine, so they stripped it totally out. As I wanted to really quick mention ProClip as the sponsor of today's video. ProClip makes the mount that you're going to want for your car. It's an extremely easy to install system that does not require any kind of permanent modification, tape, or screws. It clips in and it can be removed as easily as it is installed. Like I said, it is a two-part system, meaning that it will have just the arm for the C8 Corvette that wraps around the back of the infotainment system, and then you will choose whichever mount best fits your phone to go on the front. The best part, you can actually save 10% just by using the code HPO10 and following the link in the description down below. With the new C8 Corvette ZR1, I would have to personally think GM would follow suit with the C7 ZR1. They're going to strip out all of the active fuel management and get rid of all that stuff to go strictly performance, but GM Authority is telling us otherwise, and I know GM Authority has had a little bit of an issue with credibility in the past, so I don't want to put 100% stake in this, but at the same time, it is something to be aware of. If GM does go through with this, it is a mistake, in my opinion at least. Now, one of the biggest reasons why I think GM could go through with this is because of the EPA. They need to maintain a certain miles per gallon across their board of cars offered. And with the latest Z06, that number has come down quite a bit. So I could totally see them doing this to try to bring that number back up. Obviously, we have the C8 Corvette E-Ray coming that's likely to bump the miles per gallon up a little bit more. This could do it even further in their favor. I personally hope this does not happen, but guys, keep it in mind. This is a possibility to come. So if you're interested in the C8 Corvette ZR1, let me know what your thoughts are about the active fuel management down below. Is it something that would upset you to see in a car like this? I mean, this car is going to end up having over 800 horsepower and possibly active fuel management. It's not a great combination in my opinion, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Here on the GM Authority website, if we scroll through it a little bit, we can actually see some of the original CAD drawings here, which is very clearly twin turbocharged. But again, if you look at the back, the exhaust is side exit, and it's very unlikely to be a side exit exhaust. So this is an early CAD image, so keep that in mind whenever you're thinking about what this engine is actually going to be. But anyway, if we look at the top, it actually says sources close to the matter have exclusively told GM Authority that the ZR1's 5.5 liter LT7 engine will feature AFM or active fuel management. Notably, the naturally aspirated 6.2 V8 LT2 gasoline engine used in the C8 Stingray and C8 E-Ray also feature this technology. while the high revving 5.5 V8 LT6 gasoline engine in the C8 Z06 does not have the AFM. This is an interesting development considering that the upcoming LT7 engine is largely based off the LT6 engine. While the new details regarding the C8 ZR1 are still forthcoming, the LT7 will boast a set of turbochargers that will take the mid-engine Vet's performance chops to another level. Moving on to the Z06 news, guys, there is some hope for those of you who have had a little bit of an issue with the ticking noise. Now, we've talked about this previously on the channel. The LT6 engine has had a problem with a loud ticking noise that GM wanted to keep a closer eye on, and there is technically a service bulletin for it, because if you had that noise, they wanted to kind of listen a little closer and diagnose it a little bit before saying, yeah, there's an issue. Well, there was an issue, and they seem to have fixed it pretty easily. This article says that last month, when we first started hearing reports from the owners that the 2023 Corvette Z06 had a strange ticking sound coming from the new flat plane crank engine, owners that reported the sound said that there wasn't any power loss associated with it and no check engine lights are thrown either. But Chevrolet issued a preliminary information bulletin for the condition, which said the following. At this time, the concern is under engineering investigation. Once the repair has been established, this preliminary information will be updated or changed to a bulletin. For those of you who don't know what it sounded like, this is it. So if you don't know what it sounded like, hopefully that helped you out a little bit. But basically, what's ended up happening to fix this is a user who had this problem got a call from his dealer recently, and GM told him that there was a fix for the valve tick and that it involves new torque settings and possible replacement of the discs that set on the valve retainers. He volunteered to get the first repair done, although they have repaired several engines not yet installed in cars. Meaning basically they're pretty confident about this fix and that this fix has found its way into some of the newer cars coming down the assembly line. So basically, if your car is ticking like this, take it to the dealership. They can probably fix it through just retorquing and possible new discs that sit on the valve retainers. Moving forward again, guys, we have another service bulletin that's been issued for the LT6. So for the C8 Z06 having issues with the oil leaking from the front of the engine, there is now a service bulletin for this showing how to fix it as well. So two of the problems that I've heard a good bit about on the C8 Z06 seem to have been fixed by GM recently here. And of course, this comes to us from our friends over at the CorvetteBlogger.com. If we scroll down a little bit, they tell us exactly what the fix is and exactly how to do it. So if you have the problem taking it to the dealership, again, the TSB or Technical Service Bulletin will tell your service rep exactly how to fix it. And in this case, the condition was caused by improper front cover bolt torque or inadequate sealer adhesion at one of the 6 T-joint locations. To correct this condition, it will be necessary to install new front cover gaskets and follow the revised RTV sealing procedure, which states ensure all front cover bolts are torqued in proper sequence and to specification. If you're having a little bit of an oil leak, this is likely where it's coming from, and you can get it fixed easily at your dealership, which is really awesome. So kudos to GM for fixing these kind of issues in a timely manner and in a way that doesn't seem to be super invasive. The only thing I have a question about is who is in charge of the torque management on the assembly line, because it seems like all of these issues are torque related. So somebody is improperly torquing bolts and it's causing some issues, but either way, it doesn't seem to be a huge problem and it seems like a pretty easy fix. So if you guys have any issues like this, definitely head over to your local dealership and get them fixed under warranty, of course. But anyway, guys, that is going to do it for today's video. I just wanted to bring you some updates. Hopefully you learned something from this video. And if you did, please smash that thumbs up button. Let me know that you're liking the content so we can keep bringing these news kind of videos to you. It helps the channel and it helps circulate this out to as many other Corvette enthusiasts as possible. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'm going to have loads of content like this coming you're not going to want to miss. And as always, guys, I will catch you in the next upload.